What's the perception in the marketplace? That's what you have to look at. That's what you have to cure.
Open up for a little bit, you know? So we've talked about, you know, the different elements of it. We've talked about getting new clients. We've talked about maintaining your clients. What now happens if you got some asshole who has just decided that you didn't serve them?
Well, what's interesting is there are a lot of techniques being discussed on my yelp-sucks.com site. And the newest one is when you reply to the review and say something like, you know, well, you can't please everyone. If you look at my filtered reviews, you'll see that I have 17 5-star positive reviews being filtered. This is the only negative review I have. And I'm certain that the only reason it's up here is so that Yelp can exploit me for ad dollars. Immediately, that review got filtered and some of the other positive reviews got unfiltered. So who knows if that technique will work or not work, but I thought it was ballsy and I loved it.
Yeah.
So people are very afraid to call somebody out. Now, here's the thing. One of my friends, she had a negative review posted on her business, and it said something about her storefront window and the girl at the counter. Well, she's a home-based business. She doesn't have a storefront, nor does she have a girl at the counter. And Yelp wouldn't take it off anyway, even though it was clearly not talking about her business. It was either mistaken or they were doing it on purpose and trying to hurt her business, but they wouldn't take it off. So the whole point is they just don't care. So you have to look at, and can you document exactly what happened with that customer? Now, if you're a doctor, here's the problem. HIPAA, you can't say what happened with that client, okay? All you can say is, due to HIPAA restrictions, I cannot discuss this patient's case. I can tell you that we strive to have 100% satisfaction, and this is the only non-satisfied customer that we've had. Or you can say, this customer, we have no record of this customer ever coming into our business. We would be happy to rectify the situation if they would call the office. And you can update that later and say we made an offer for them to call and they never did. We honestly believe this is not our customer. And please look at our filtered reviews to see all of our 5-star reviews that have been hidden. And something like that. You want to, so I did this one thing. I sent out an email once. I'd been coming home and I was just listening to Frank Kern, who I love, who's a complete, like, dude, right? Like, I don't even care when Frank calls me dude. I'm like, yeah, right? Like, it's okay, right? Frank's the only one who can get away with calling me dude.
Yeah.
And so I was listening to a bunch of Frank Kern stuff, driving home, an 8-hour drive, and I sent out an email because he was saying his best converting subject line was bad news.
Yes, exactly.
Right? And this woman wrote back and said, I'm unsubscribing. You violated my trust because that wasn't bad news. That was a sales pitch. And you said bad news, and I was very concerned for you.
Oh, my God.
So we went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. This woman taught social media at a university in Chicago. And by the end of it, she said, is it okay if I use this email thread that we've been having, this email correspondence that we've been having in my class as an example of what exactly to do, because you've completely turned me around. It took 6 emails, but I turned her completely around. And it literally, it's when you read what they're saying, you want to match and mimic their style. So if they say hi, space, your name, comma, you want to say hi, space, their name, comma, right? So the format, the diction, repeat their keywords and phrases, the same things that you would do when it came to matching and mirroring in person and body language and building rapport. You would do those same things online to get them to trust you and to rebuild that rapport, because really what they want is they want to be heard. Like I said, I just made a phone call today and I was irked at the business. Well, that girl at the front, she listened, she took notes, she wanted to make sure that she had down everything that I had said. She had me completely neutralized, turned around and smiling within like 5 minutes. And I'm a tough cookie.
Yeah.
And it's great. So really, what are you missing from your formula? Because if you're routinely getting bad reviews, there's something wrong. I'll give you another example. An Italian restaurant in the East Bay in California, one of the first ones to really go public about this whole Yelp thing, They had been a pizza place hiring teenagers, and they transitioned into a high-end Italian bistro. But they didn't upgrade their staff, and they didn't train them. So, you know, they had a hostess who's text messaging her boyfriend, ignoring people, not seating them. They had, service issues. They had, giggling over here without looking to see that these people needed service here. Now, routinely, everybody said they had the best bread ever. And routinely, everybody said their service sucked. So, business owner, you need to take heart. Is what they're saying true? Right? Is it true? Could it be true? Could it be perceived as something that is true, even if I know that there's an underlying reason for it? What's the perception in the marketplace? That's what you have to look at. That's what you have to cure. It doesn't matter if it's real or true. Really, what matters is what's perceived.
Yeah, it's that Marshall McLuhan, the medium is the message, right? And the fact is, you may think you're perfect, and most of us like to think we're perfect, and yeah, exactly. But it's either we're perfect or we suck. We have those two different mental images of ourselves, right? And sometimes it's like I'm perfect in business, but I suck personally. But that's not even the issue. It's weird. It's warped perception. It's look at your body and go, yeah, I'm overweight. When people look at you and go, wow, you're sexy. So your perspective, of your business and of your practice is going to be potentially, and in most cases, I think, vastly different than what your customers expect. World Chiro Conference for that. Adryenn, you are like totally amazing. And I always have fun with you. It's just like the coolest thing ever.
I always have fun with you too. It's
just like this.
Live on the other side of the world.
I know. Well, I will be in Scottsdale next weekend, by the way. So I'll wave. Adryenn Ashley coming up next. Welcome to the Boost Your Practice Show.